You don't need a killer dragon for me. Ooh, I don't need no fairy tale.
Oh, you're headed into the woods. A couple hours into the woods, like I said, it's well marked, but it is still a heavily forested area. It's a lot of like winding trails around these giant trees. Um, you are somewhere to the northeast, so in this region.
Okay.
You travel around for quite some time. Is there any interest in doing anything before you reach any major landmarks? Are you planning? Are you just beelining straight there? Do you spend time doing other stuff? What is that other stuff?
So we know the general direction to it, or do
You're
we
following
just
a
like
trail.
suspect? Okay, and the trail is going to lead us to where we need to be.
That's what you were told.
If animals are drawn to the hardwood,
Hmm.
take a stock of local flora and fauna and kind of map things out as we're on our.
Okay. Roll survival and then nature.
Can I assist?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll let him make the primary check.
For
Like,
survival there?
Yeah, he
Or do you want me to
address
make the
it,
primary check?
Primary check.
I think we have 3 people that have a 3 in survival.
I am one of them.
Yeah, I have 3.
I'm a -1.
So it doesn't matter out of us 3, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh, nice
Starting
roll.
off good.
Okay. And nature.
Somebody else might want to do that one. You know where that?
No. Whoever makes the survival has to make the nature.
Really?
Mhm.
Oh shit!
You're the one who's
Should
doing
let the
hunting.
bard do it.
Yeah, should have let me do it. Didn't realize. Here's the luck. Wait. No, I can't. Never mind.
Like Lycus was like, anybody want to hunt around?
Hey, it all worked out, everybody.
Hey, it did,
One
nice.
off the top. There's a 19.
Very cool. Okay. You notice a couple things as you travel to the northeastern region here. One, that you're not. Now remember, like the economy of scale here. After a couple of hours, you guys are probably like here, not anywhere near like the edge of the forest. You still, there's a large gap across this land here, but you are headed towards the mountainous region of the Humblewood. So you notice like slight changes in the temperature, slight shifts in what is most likely the weather as you head further in this direction. You suspect that if you were to go much further, like more than a day from here, you'd start seeing more mountain fauna, or like more creatures that are at home in both woods and in mountains, as opposed to just the deep woods.
Like a goat.
Sure, like a goat or a mountain lion, either way.
Or a mountain goat.
Or a mountain goat. Indeed. Could be any of those. Here in the wood, following this game trail, and especially since you as a group are not exactly quiet, one of you wearing heavy armor and going clang, clang, clang wherever they walk.
So I am average in the woods. Yeah. My feather pattern hides shit that my armor would have been.
I see.
So I'm supposed to have advantage.
So you
on stealth in the forest.
But due to your heavy armor, you just go back to regular.
I have disadvantage, so I'm just in the middle.
I see.
So we're not quite so shitty.
Okay. Neat. Well, yeah.
Oh, that's totally different. Never mind that I read it.
Now that you read it, well.
Okay, never mind.
But I mean,
I think
it's not
my
as though
brain logged it as that.
It's not as though it doesn't benefit you. It's just that you're not making an active usage of it.
Right.
Like if things are looking for you,
then I could roll average instead of
correct.
Yeah, but it's still clinking and clanking.
Right. The sound you make is not benefited by your feather pattern.
So maybe the sound draws them to me. But then if we really needed to hide, then this would come in. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Get my things. There it is.
And the second you said mountain creatures, I just thought about that like epic side quest that we went on that whole time in that campaign for Riley to see a giant.
Yep.
Yep.
God, isn't that? I thought that was the mountain that we landed in with Buttlebot, though, right? Or was that a different mountain?
We climbed a mountain.
We climbed a mountain and saw.
We climbed the mountain that
things.
erupted. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember.
There are a
We
lot of
climbed the
mountains.
mountain, and then there's like the lava shit in the middle, and Riley shot a fireball, and it exploded and killed me. You know,
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do remember when
that was
he
that one.
shot something in a cave and
Fire
tried to
spell
kill
in
us
a
all.
in a.
Yeah,
He actually had, many a
that's when I
ill-advised
got my mama
fireball.
dagger.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's when.
Oh,
Trent
yeah.
got his
Actually,
dagger.
what he did was he used produce flame to light up a torch, and then he dropped it down. And the problem
Just
was is
fell
that
for a volcano.
it was a heavy gas cloud at the bottom of the area where our three characters were, and so the little gnome had to like hold his breath and like give
Oh, it
other
burned up by
people down
accident.
there
Yeah.
air.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my
Yeah,
god.
given like mouth to mouth, and you
Yep.
had like you rolled a 20, so you had like an extra air bubble to help me out with.
Yes.
That was so ridiculous.
The
Wh-
last second
So
save.
it was a miracle one of us didn't die. Like an actual miracle that he didn't kill somebody there.
It was fun holding that over his head for a long time.
And that miracle
Oh
happened like
man.
3 different times.
Yes.
He almost killed himself and another one of you releasing the white spider stuff.
Yeah.
It was a good time. So
I enjoyed it.
Good times. Good
yeah.
times.
So you guys are headed deeper into the forest. You feel like you've got a good lay of the land, but obviously most of the local fauna are steering clear of you, based on the amount of noise. Great. About 3 hours into your travels, trying to remember what time it was last time. See. Woke up, everybody felt better. You went shopping, got side quests. Then you went to the wizard tower. It was probably not too far. Maybe like afternoon. Let's say you've been traveling 3-4 hours. It's late afternoon, and here in the canopy, that means that it's going to be dark soonish, like in the next couple of hours, rather than like 7-8 o'clock. You finally reach a point where those of you with nature-based knowledge, so anyone who is proficient in nature or a bard, take a note that the like subtle signs that the trees are beginning to change. Eventually it will be obvious when all of the trees change, but those of you with natural knowledge are starting to spot one out of every 24 trees, different colored bark, different textures, different leaf patterns up in the canopy. And one of you can roll nature with assistance from another to get advantage. You didn't ask any of these questions last time.
Wait, so the assistance is that my assistance?
No,
Or
so
should I be the one rolling?
any one person can roll with advantage, having had assistance from their
Okay.
fellow.
Okay. Got it. Nature?
Yep.
Okay. I'll roll it.
Nice.
Well.
Double 11. That's okay. It's not tough to know at least some of this. It occurs to you now, as you guys have been traveling and it has been starting to get a little colder, that you didn't really think upon Purple Heart. Like the wood that you're seeking is much more common to like mountainside forest. It's more common in colder environments, cold lands, and as you guys continue the last like half hour or so, the temperature really drastically drops. It goes from that, like that comfortable, cool 65, 70 in the in the shade of the canopy to more like 40. It's pretty chilly.
I mean, especially if you have a metal on your body.
True. But I mean, metal armor is made with sufficient padding that's not usually a big issue.
No, unless you've just taken a plate and just glued it to your shoulder.
Name is Rezik and you don't wear clothes under your armor. So you travel on another few minutes, and in that cold temperature, it's starting to get very chill. And finally, you find yourselves entering into a kind of a large wooded glade area.
Are there like any notable features about this area? Do we see any of those purple heart trees, or is it just more trees but more open?
You're pretty sure that all of these are the purple heart trees. Like, and you've been seeing more of them as you entered the area.
Okay.
These trees are some 20, 30 feet tall and maybe 3 feet across. Felling one would be a feat of great strength or time. Alternatively, you can look for a downed one or try and like cut into a live one, I suppose. But what you guys on the map?
So Uggla's cold too. Everybody's cold.
Everybody's cold. Now, whether your race or whatever would assist you with that is neither here nor there. I'm saying that the temperature is low.
Oh yeah, I was just trying to discern whether his weird affliction would have anything to do with that. That's cool.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, I see. You're trying to see if your burnt hands give you unnatural.
He still doesn't know what the symptoms or effects of any of that are.
Yeah.
Beyond what mysterious whisper they get.
It's quite cold. What would you like to do? Obviously, these seem like those trees that we were after, so is it possible we could chip some away, or how do we go about this? I don't have an axe. Do you have an axe?
Oh, no one thought to bring
I have
supplies? How strange.
I have a very sharp sword.
That sounds like a waste of a good sword.
I'm
No,
going to
it's
make us a
star
bunch
metal.
of axes for wood cutting tools. Just
Oh yeah. All right, let's do it.
why don't we set ourselves up a camp and get about it?
I'll make the fire.
Oh my, you are not going to make that fire. I will help you with anything.
Are you going to need right tool for the right job here?
Yeah.
Okay. That's going to take you an hour per tool.
Well, we can do, what, 1, 2?
Just make me one big axe, and I'll take care of that tree.
Oh my god.
Give it 38 extra spikes. It'll be better. Make sure there's some flames
Yeah.
on there.
Yes, flames.
Yeah, it'll make you warmer too.
That's true.
Oh yeah.
All right, so he'll get on that, and there's make.
Okay. This is. I mean, you guys are here on the map in Roll20. Where are you making camp? What's your plan here?
We get to pick a spot on the map.
Yeah. This is the glade.
What about here? Wait, that's not the right screen. Don't ask what I just did. It was dumb. What about here?
You just clicked on the stream, didn't you?
Yeah. Don't. Rookie mistake. Yeah, maybe next to this, like, it's still open, but also kind of tucked away into the trees. Or if you guys have a better idea, we can go anywhere.
How do I
ask if we wanted to discuss it?
Hmm.
I'm not sure if it would be better to. Hold on. I think it's this. Yeah.
I didn't.
I don't
I
know if
was
it would
double
be.
clicking. I drew a box.
All right. Hold on,
Oh,
let me
single
see.
click is a thing. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, long
what do y'all think about on top of the ridge over there, so
That's not a
that
bad idea. It depends
things
on how
can't
high
sneak
that
up on
ridge
us up
is.
there and look at us?
I was gonna say that, or it would be.
Yeah.
cut out kosher.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out how to ping it like they did.
Long click, single long click.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't
Without the
unclick it.
measure tool selected, so you have to be on the pointer. You're on the measurement tool.
Oh, okay.
Top left section, you need to be on the pointer, then single long click to ping. There you go.
Or someplace like that, dug in to where it's gonna hold more heat, and it's also gonna
Little
provide a
hidden.
little more cover. Yeah. But the only issue is that something can come from above us.
Right.
It does
So
sound like there's some howling wolves around here. I'm fine with whatever you guys would like to do. I don't really have a preference other than I would like to stay safe, and as long as nobody pulls any tricks, I'm looking at you, Ugla.
Tricks. I haven't pulled any tricks.
Sleepy tricks, tricks
Oh
in
yeah,
your
my
sleep.
body's done
Yes.
that a couple times.
Yes, your body, which is a part of you. Uh,
Evidently, it just does its own thing sometimes.
Are you able to control that at your age?
Well,
also,
you know,
how high are these? They look more like bluffs rather than just sheer cliffs.
They
Like on the map.
Oh, these. Probably varies. So, let's say. I mean, these look taller than the trees. So, yeah, somewhere between 30 and 50 feet. Pretty tall.
Are they sheer drop offs, or
No,
are
no, no.
they
They're definitely
sloped?
slanted. Yeah.
Okay.
This is like scree has fallen over, centuries and created this low area for a while.
Okay. I'm just my only worry about going up here, guys, is we could be trapped. But if it's not like a sheer drop off, then it's not necessarily that big of an issue. It's not an issue for us three that can glide, but it would be an issue for like us, possibly. So
yep.
that's true. I was thinking, yeah, I wanted to have the upper hand on things below us, but I guess things could just walk in from the other side too. And I mean, if we make camp down here, we definitely have to have a fire because it's going to be way too cold not to. But if we do it under this, maybe it'll be less than if we were up on top.
It's
Yeah.
probably best to bundle up.
Yeah.
I have a sack for sleeping. Not much by way of, you know, long sleeves, except for this. I guess we'll be okay.
Okay.
I should have brought us a down feather carpet from my parents' home, which we could have laid out. So next time we're in winning reach, I need to ensure that we take that with us.
we should have also brought a cart.
We should have brought a lot of things. We're extremely
Oh.
unprepared.
Yeah, we're gonna have to chop this up into little carryable pieces.
Oh,
Here, we'll just clear a few things out of my bag and then put them in Ugla's pack, and then we can put it in my bag of holding.
Yeah, I was hoping for that. How much can it hold?
Let's see.
So
Sticks his head into it.
yay by yay.
Yeah, it's only it's a 4x4x4 cube. You know, we probably should go back and get a cart. And we could have thought this
just buy
through.
that. I was looking at a shield with wheels on it. We could just use that.
How
You know what?
far?
Why don't
away?
we? Why don't I fashion us a cart from any pieces after you start digging up?
Okay. Yeah. I guess I could chop down like a smaller tree of, weaker wood. You could make a card out of that while I chop down the big.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it.
Your plan is to fell a small tree so that he can work on a ramshackle cart while you fell a larger tree.
Yeah.
Okay.
To be carried back on.
Okay. So you had to spend your first hour making an axe for Ugla. Then Ugla begins to fell a small tree, which is nowhere near enough lumber to make a cart from. But you could probably make like a skiff and make something to drag.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right.
Just some small wheels or something.
No, that's what I mean. Like
it drags.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
there's
for
no
dragging.
wheels.
You're gonna make 2 large, sturdy poles,
Okay.
and put some excess cloth between them.
Or
Yep.
like sleds almost.
Sleds would require runners. I mean, this is basically a gurney without wheels.
Yeah.
This is this
Uh,
is something that one person or 2 people hold and drag along the ground.
okay.
All right, so you've got Lygus's axe. Make a strength and dexterity check, Ugla, to see how long it takes you to fell the small tree. Quite a while. Lycus, can you make more than one tool for the job, or is it one tool only?
One set of tools per use, and then
Okay.
when I use it again, the previous one.
Okay. So you basically, I'll do you the favor and let you have an axe and a large saw as part of your singular use, but you can't make more axes.
Sure.
Um,
I mean, it's carpentry tools would be a long bow axe or a long bow saw,
right,
and probably some kind of hatchet or something.
right. So you've got those 2 things. Ugla is hacking with the axe. What are the other 2? What are Genra and Rezek up to?
So
Gathering firewood.
I'm going to be trying to set up a camp because based on the looks of it. Well, here's the question: do I realize that we're woefully unprepared?
Oh yes, it is
Mhm.
blatantly
Okay.
obvious that you were woefully unprepared.
Okay, so with that knowledge, I want to go ahead and set up a camp. I'm going to do my best to actually stealth it up,
You
I
know,
guess.
you know good and well that there is no chance you're hiding this camp because Ugla's going wham, wham, wham for hours.
While wearing very loud armor too.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like you could make it. In fact, I would advise you as your DM rather than hiding your camp, try to fortify it.
Yep.
Put up some fucking
Okay.
like give yourself a rock to put with your back to, and take some extra shit and put it out. Like to build a small wall. Like I don't know.
Something's
Build
gonna hear it.
a small wall, build a couple of things that look like people, so that when
Mhm.
our checking things out later, they go, "Oh,
Yeah, maybe a fake fire with some fake people sitting around it. Decoy fire.
Do we want to make a decoy camp?
Yeah.
That's up to
Y'all
you.
get to
No, I
work
don't
on
want
that.
to make a. I don't want to make a decoy camp.
Okay. So
Uh,
if that's the case,
um,
put your figures where they should be. Like place yourselves in the camp or at a small tree. Move yourself into position.
do y'all want to do it here, or do you want to do it here, or like here?
I
I
liked
think
your
that
suggestion about being up against the cliff face
Yeah. I was gonna
in
say
the
that
lower
last
left.
one.
Okay, and
maybe
not
be
here.
on top of the side because then at least we know the direction that people coming from when they
That's true. We would eliminate, yeah, unless somebody's climbing up the hill beneath us. Yeah, that's true.
Well, so the hill is taller than the trees, so we don't really have to worry about them. I guess technically gliding to us if they were like bandits or something like that.
So not all of the trees are shorter than the hills. So like this tree is shorter than the hills. Like they're kind of shaded where it's obvious that they're
Okay.
short. But like this big boy is taller. Dang you, bitch! This big boy is taller than his hill.
Okay. Well, I'm fine with camping there, and we can fortify it. Um,
Ugla, that's your small tree.
I'm gonna be
Yeah, I was
in
right
this
for it.
area.
Why not?
You guys are making camp up here on top of this hill.
Yes.
Okay. Ugla is down in the valley, more or less, at a small tree, a decent distance away.
I mean, those are still like, yeah, 60 feet. Okay.
Oh, 60 feet horizontal, 30 feet vertical.
Yes. So it's going to be a little while for them to get down to me.
So they can glide to you pretty quickly. You could
Yeah.
not get to them,
Two of them.
quick
Yeah.
at all.
What is 5e
Yeah.
trigonometry?
Yes.
How tall you say that cliff face is there?
30.
30 feet.
How high can I climb each time?
What's your climb speed? Half your move, so probably 15.
Right.
So,
And we should be able to get you in basically one movement.
in a single turn. They could glide to you with a double move action.
Two of them.
Two of them, yes. You would have to, like, it would take you a double move to get to the cliff face, and then a double move up climbing to scale the cliff.
Right.
Okay.
Could something attack me while I was climbing and knock me off?
Of course.
That'd be kind of cool.
Thematically, yes. Hit points wise, not so much.
Oh, yeah. Cool for me as a player.
Yeah.
Terrible news for Ugla.
Right. Okay. So, go ahead and roll survival to build your camp. Excellent. Now, roll another survival for excess fortifications.
Hey, Ginner, be sure to help set up the camp.
He yells.
Yeah, I will.
Too late.
Wait.
Just advantage or whatever.
Damn.
Too late. So the camp itself is pretty poor. It's a little too close to the cliff edge, and you didn't realize how much windier it would be up on top of this cliff than it is down in the little valley. So your tent blows over a couple times before you get it nice and staked. However, you do find a couple of large pieces of like felled tree or like extra large bark that you can push up against one side. You've more or less blocked off. Where's my brown? You more or less blocked off this square. So one of the avenues of entry is easily is now a problem for someone. This section, of course, would not be terribly easy to get through if they're not small. Your real problem is this big bitch. You can't really do much about that.
Can I try and narrow the approach?
You attempted to, and it knocked your tent over, and couldn't figure it out.
Okay.
So I mean, you're guarded on 2.5 to 3 sides. It's pretty well defended, all things considered.
Could we dig a trench?
You're topping a tree.
Yeah. Ugla thinks to himself, I wonder if we could dig a trench to help make the area secure. Man, this is a thick tree.
I'd like to invite Ugla to think about the physics of how long it takes to dig a trench for a singular
Yeah.
person, especially.
Oh god, yeah. Like especially to get like a depth that isn't just
depth
hop
that matters,
overable.
yeah.
Right.
And with-
Especially in a depth that matters without a shovel.
right.
Yes. You've using your hand.
Fucking Rezik and Genra over there with their hands just pulling dirt.
Wait. Foxes can dig pretty well. They dig burrows.
Foxes, yes. Humblewood foxes, not so much.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he was not granted a burrow speed.
Oh, only the porcupines.
Only the porcupines.
Look at my scrawny arms over here. Do you really think that I'm built for, taking a shovel?
There's no way I can talk to you.
Yeah, he's jumping a tree.
This is
All
all Ugla thinking to himself bad ideas.
So, you guys spend Lycus is hard at work on constructing like the base pieces of the skiff. He's grabbing like excess bark and like sackclothing that he can make the interior piece out of. Ugla fells his tree after about 45 minutes. You've never chopped wood before. Like out of your many like helpful duties, it's
Oh god.
felling trees has never been one of them. And so
Really?
so you've got your axe out. You're like, all right, chopping trees. This seems easy. This is gonna be fine. And you're wailing at it, but you like 60% of the time you hit the wrong spot. So there's like 8 different indentions on the side of the tree. You don't attack the single place. Sometimes you turn it too high or too low, so you're biting into your own wedge several times.
Yeah.
It's just like it's not a complex task, but that doesn't mean there's not an art form chopping.
It's true.
So it takes you a good 45 minutes for you, and like 30 minutes in, you've got the hang of it. And when you go to do the big tree, it shouldn't be as hard. Those last 15 are really just you actually wailing away at the same spot and really, cutting this thing down.
Also thinking to himself, man, I'm glad I bought these gloves.
Yeah, true. 45 minutes in, you fell this small tree. It's maybe 8 to 10 feet tall and probably not even a foot across, but it will make 2 long, sturdy timber bars for a skiff.
I'm gonna check the canopy, see if there's anything in there.
Leaves. How checking it are you? Are you investigating, or are you just looking around?
Sure. I'll poke around in there for. I don't know, what would an investigation of that take? Like 15 minutes?
It's 10 minutes to investigate.
Yeah, he'll take 10 minutes to poke around in the top of that tree, see if he finds anything.
Now, this is the real question: is you said basically all this wood is the wood that we would need?
Every forest, every tree on this map are things you need.
Okay, so if we do decide to try and drag us all back, we could actually use the cart itself as extra wood. Or would that be too damaged?
Some of it, yeah, but like because to make the 2 sturdy poles, you don't have enough interior wood to make an entire pole out of it. You're making it out of basically just the 2 halves of the tree trimmed down into manageable hand sizes. So you've got some heartwood in there, but it would have to be like removed from the poles at a later time. But yeah, you could. There is an amount in there. Okay. So it's been probably another good hour before Ugla finishes with his small tree and inspecting the foliage. Ugla, You do find a couple of things. In fact, the most obvious thing you find is a lot of spider webbing. It seems that these trees, especially their canopies, are a very natural home for spiders.
Interesting. I'll share that news with the group. Hey guys, finish the tree. Bunch of creepy spider webs in the top of it. Looks like spiders like the canopies in this.
I mean, that doesn't seem very unusual. I'm sure there are plenty of spiders out here. I mean,
There's a
I mean,
lot of spider webs in this. You know, I've climbed a good number of trees in my life, and I don't think I've ever seen this many spider webs in the top of a tree. There's
well,
definitely something special about it. We'll check the canopy of the other one too.
Rezik,
really don't know.
while you were kind of exploring the area, looking for some naturally defensive stuff you could move to the camp, you did spot a medium-sized downed tree that may or may not be useful to your quest. Ugla, your height, there is definitely a stump. Do you care anything about this stump? Are you leaving it there, chopping it?
Would it be useful for him? I mean,
It could be firewood. There is an amount of core, wood still in the center of it. I'm just, trying to figure out if Ugla would do anything about the stump.
okay, so there's a stump there. Does it have a root that he could grab a hold of?
There's a root that would go into the ground. You could probably dig out not much dirt to find something you could put your hands on.
Okay.
You're
So
just trying to
thinking about
He-Man this thing out.
thinking about our need for wood, for either for burning for the night or to take home for money.
Okay.
He's gonna clear away some dirt and try and just pull that fucker out of the ground.
Okay.
He'll give it one good heave,
All right.
just to see if it's possible.
So I'm guessing there's probably not a lot of light left.
No, you're pushing towards the evening very rapidly now.
Okay.
Ugla, as you give this one good heave, it takes a while. You're starting to, and you're finally starting to make a little headway, starting to move under the earth. But you're also starting to get real tired and thinking this is probably too much work, more work than it's worth. Make me a perception check. As soon as you start to make progress, and now you're really like you were thinking, all right, this is too much work, and then it starts to move, and you're like, oh, maybe I can, and then you hear a soft hissing sound, as if either air escaping from something or a creature
Does it sound like it's coming from the stump?
from beneath the stump.
Okay. So he's gonna immediately let go of the root, and like push it back down and start walking towards it.
Okay. Hissing face.
I can't miss an opportunity to hiss,
True,
okay?
true.
It's just one of those things that you just gotta do when the opportunity arises.
All right, so you drag your small tree over and pass that off to Lycus.
So can he, I guess you can't roll nature if you're not proficient in it, right?
Oh, you can. It's just about what options are available to you.
Has he ever, can he think of any reason why he would be hearing that noise
Ugla?
upon moving a tree stump a little bit?
Oh yeah, your first instinct is snakes.
Burrowed underneath it.
Yep. Like it might be, it might be any of a number of other things, but the easy jump is snakes.
Yeah, so he's just going to leave that as is. I guess they burrowed under there. Okay. Good thing I didn't rip it out of the ground.
Good thing. All right, so you drag that over.
Also thinking, so this tree is full of snakes and spiders. Interesting.
Spiders above, snakes below. So, you drag that over, and it's about this time that Rezik is calling it good about having fortified and created the camp here. Um, there's a fire going from excess, small brush on the ground. Lycus is hard at work on the, like tree pieces of the skiff. And now that you've brought over the small tree, you can start on the actual skiff. But nighttime falls. It is just after sundown, just a little twilight through the branches. But here under the canopy, that means it's full dark.
Kind of hard to see. We should probably. What's the temperature like?
It's cold.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna need a fire tonight, guys.
There is a fire going, I said.
Yeah. Is there
Yeah,
enough firewood to keep it going all night?
Not untended, but if you're setting watches, yes. Like, the person on watch could have a duty of collecting, more wood. But if you were planning on having enough to not need to leave the camp, no, you don't have enough.
Well, Ugla will chop off any branches that were from this tree.
You got the entire top of the tree, basically, that can make excess wood.
Right, so we should be all right.
So you're probably fine.
Okay. Did Genra do anything while we were doing this work?
Are you trying to point out that Genra is doing nothing? I will tell you, Genra has found herself under a tree and is playing some beautiful music for all of you hardworking men. So, to answer your question,
okay,
she hasn't done jack shit.
So, no.
Oh,
okay.
I wish I could have heard the music. I guess I couldn't hear it over the
Not over the chopping.
loud axes and grunting.
Okay, so darkness falls. The fire has sufficient wood, assuming you use the top of the tree. What are you all doing?
I'm going to set up an alarm for the area. The only people that are exempt is me, Genra, and Lycus. I want it to trip on everything else. Do you all want it to be an actual alarm, or do you want it to just for me to know, so I can let you guys know?
Better for just you to know. A really loud alarm out here might draw even more unwanted attention tonight.
More than this fire.
And
yeah, and loud noises. Loud noises. Okay, so I'm making an internal.
We can put over the fire to make it maybe not so, or disguise it in some way.
you're on the top of a small cliff.
I don't think there was really any disguising that.
The only way that we would be able to disguise it would be build up the camp a little more
Yeah.
to block out the light from escaping. But people are still going to see a glow in the area above us.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Well, before it gets too dark, I want to scavenge the general area without really leaving too far out of the light of the camp for something to eat. I guess.
Good idea. Are you going to look for things to eat, Razik?
Yes, I am. I want to try and get us a little enough for maybe we can bake some mushrooms over the fire or something like that.
That sounds like a pretty good idea. Do you mind if I took along with you?
Oh, would you like to help?
Yes. The one thing that I can do. Yes.
It's like, yeah, sure. I guess during this time he was a little bit preoccupied with what he was doing to notice what you were or were not doing. So
Jenner was definitely banking on that. So
okay.
Are you using or divine sense? Or are you just pinging it?
No, I mean, yeah, I was just reading
Or are
it.
you just reading? Gotcha. All right. Full night begins to fall. Twilight fades from the far edge of the forest as Genra and Rezik wander off into the dark.
Whoa.
Whoa!
Ugla says, "Wait, where did they go? I was pondering my abilities."
We
Huh?
moved
What?
so far away.
Yeah, I was like, I want to stay within the
Lycus, did
light
they
of the
just-
It's like
fire.
40
Did
feet.
they just
it's really
leave?
not that far.
It looks so far.
I know. All right,
You're
you
trying to take us away from the
No.
camp.
All right, you guys are up here. How's that?
That's better.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, 10 feet away. Hey, what are you guys up to?
Looking for
We should have
food.
gone
I'm
further
hungry.
away.
Oh, for food. Can't somebody goodberry?
Ooh,
I don't know how long we're going to be out here.
it's true. We could do the good berry, but why not try to find the nourishment from the land around us?
Okay. I mean, it's really late at night. I don't know if it's going to be very easy. I think we should just eat our rations and a good berry or two. It might not be a good idea to wander around in the woods at night in an unknown area looking for food.
If I wanted to like look in the vicinity for like berries or anything, what would I roll?
Survival.
Survival.
Or survival.
Yeah,
Okay.
survival.
And if you're gonna, but if you're going to look, I'll help you.
Okay.
I thought you were chopping trees.
It's late at night, man. We're
Are you-
going to
You're
bed.
not chopping deep into the night? All right, roll survival.
Advantage, right?
Correct. All right. Yeah, you don't have any trouble foraging. It's not quite enough to make a full meal for all four of you, but it would. It probably could make a full meal for two, or half a meal for all.
Mushrooms and snails?
Mushrooms and berries, and local stick bugs.
Mm.
Aw.
They toast up really
Stick bug.
Yeah. So you do you feel like if there were more food here, you would have found it. It's not that you rolled too low; it's that there's not a lot to go around.
That's not a good sign.
This area is very obviously like something else you're noticing while you're here. This area is obviously very well traveled. A lot of animals pass through here, and those that are not meat eaters probably eat most of what you're looking for.
Yeah. Okay. Did I meant to ask this earlier. Did I hear any water nearby? I know we were looking for that lake.
There's a large pond in the area, and it's supposedly further on up the game trail, which would be northeast out of this map. But you have not heard anything like a stream.
Okay. Got it.
Lycus, make me a disadvantaged perception check. James.
Yeah.
Make me a disadvantaged perception check.
Yeah.
Ah, good. Head down, working on his business. It's no surprise he doesn't notice. Ugla, you had gone off to the north side with them to assist in that survival check. Now you're returning to camp. And as you do so, you check on Lycus. He's doing his thing. But you look out over the valley, and it seems that at night, fireflies tend to populate this area. There are small orbs of light floating all around. It's a pleasant sight.
Now he's going to use divine sense.
Okay. What's the range? 60 feet?
Yeah. Yeah, the big one is 60 feet and not behind cover. So squinting at these fireflies, are those fireflies?
Okay. So you're only within 60 feet of two of them. This one and this one.
Right.
But well, how does your divine sense render itself to you?
I mean, so it would just how would he celestial fiend or undead?
But it's so read the top of that section there. This registers amongst your existing five senses as something out of the ordinary, like noxious odor, powerful ringing of bells.
Oh, I see.
That kind of stuff.
He gets a flashback to one of the rival merchants slapping his father across the face. He hears a loud audible
like flesh on flesh.
Yeah, of
Okay.
pure greed destroying people.
Okay.
That's how he registers evil.
Yeah, you they're not necessarily evil. I mean, you detect celestials here too. It's just kind of other stuff. But anyways, yeah.
Well, it's just strong evil or powerful good, right?
Right. That's what I mean. So it's not necessarily evil. You'd hear this slap if there was an angel next to you too. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, well, there can be something different, right? For good. Because good, it says, is heavenly music, and evil is not just.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I got you. Okay, cool.
So the slap would represent evil, and then
Something
good
else.
would be like just a general, like deep, heartfelt warmth.
Ah, I got you. Okay.
Like he's being hugged by Altus himself.
Ah, okay. Well, you hear two distinct slaps as there are a pair of undead within 60 feet of you.
Okay, and he sees two fireflies, right?
You do?
It's interesting because if it had just been one, then maybe it's just something lurking around. Okay, so he's going to step over to Lycus and like hold his hands still, and just like grab his hands and try and meet his eye, and he's gonna whisper, "Hey, look over at those fireflies. Do they look strange to you?"
I didn't know you favored me that way. Oh,
Like
something not.
broken from your reverie. He's gesturing with his face and eyes while he holds your hand still, back behind you into the valley. Turning your head,
And
Lycus.
Lycus follows.
Turning
Lycus
your head,
follows his.
you spot. Not all of them are visible since you're sitting right next to the big tree. But you see 1, 2, 3 large firefly-like glows. Guys.
I would like to roll religion.
Why?
Well, yeah, I was gonna say. I just say, tell me what you see. Is the first.
He hasn't told you
Oh.
they're undead.
That's fair. He looks over at them. What? I guess I'll roll.
Like aside from being big, like they're larger than your average insect would be. But other than that, they're just a kind of a bright floating glow, which in a dark forest, your easiest guess is fireflies or something similar.
I don't know. They look like fireflies.
I got a strange feeling about them, and I really thought about it and looked at them and tried to sense what their intention was, and they're coming up as undead.
Now you can roll. You can roll religion too, Ugla, if you want. As usual. Lycus, you are not the most well-versed religious entity. You know, you don't belong to any particular major faith and practice as a priest or a cleric or a paladin of any kind. Um, but you do know that malevolent spirits can haunt, like the land, um, and having lived near the swamp your whole life, you've definitely heard of like angry ghosts and other such tales that appear as like swamp lights.
Sure. Are we near a swamp?
I don't think so. The ground just seemed stable and solid. No smells.
I think those might be vengeful spirits.
So we shouldn't be near those.
Probably not.
I mean, the vengeful part, a spirit can go either way. The vengeful part, yeah, probably want to go.
Have they been moving any closer?
Mm,
In the short
I
time that
just
you've noticed them, because they like you didn't see them before, like as an Ugla, you only recently stepped back to the cliff edge here. They have only floated around within their 5-foot square.
Let's keep
no,
an eye on them for a couple of minutes and get our things ready to go. Just
yeah. Let's definitely. I'll try and get the others. You start packing things up a little bit.
all right.
So
I try to stealthily walk over to them.
okay, you're in a forest. I'll let you use your advantage to have normal stealth,
Even with
even with the armor.
wow.
Of course, Ugla, as stealthy as he can be, makes his way over towards the others who are finishing up their collecting of berries and roots. Lycus, what are you doing right now?
He's packing up his things and keeping an eye on the Linky.
Okay, you've more or less finished the skiff. You're packing up the tools you were using to do so, glancing over your shoulders every 10-15 seconds to make sure nothing has moved. Um, maybe 15 seconds in, as Ugla is not so quietly sneaking off, the two that you can see on the right side begin to move. They're not coming towards you. They seem to be heading towards the center of the glade, and they eventually pass outside of your vision beyond these trees. You glance. You glance left, given the concern, and this one also seems to be headed towards the center glade.
He continues packing up his things.
Okay.
And about every minute, he'll look over between the two areas to see if he sees any.
Ugly, you snuck over to the others. They've got their hands full of berries and roots.
Look what we found. We found more than I imagined. Oh, what's wrong?
Go ahead and put that stuff in your pockets or set it down. There's some weird glowy bugs over there that are undead. Lycus says they're vengeful spirits. We gotta try and pack up and get the hell out of here.
All right.
Let's just be real quiet and we'll walk over and see if we can get our stuff. Sure, it'll be fine.
Okay. Ugla has already rolled his stellar stealth. The other two, feel free to roll stealth as well.
I have basically no stealth, but fuck it, I guess.
But you have rolling luck.
Yeah, you have goose luck.
See?
Look at that.
See? All right, the two of you, actually sneaky, silently make their way back to the camp. Neither of you see any of these lights or bugs.
Wait, so I don't see them either, then.
Correct. As you make your way back, you see none of them.
Lycus, where did they go?
They went to the.
Okay, I'm glad we're on the cliff face. Let's
They're not actually growing. I'm trying to grab this stupid thing and it won't let me.
Oh,
You expanded it. Yeah.
Fuck, I just got to delete this one. I can't touch it. As you make your way back to camp, you rather than see the glows, though, if you're looking hard through this foliage directly to the south on the map, you can see the glow they give off, if not their direct bodies. Rather than see them, though, you hear something coming from the center of the glade.
we hear a noise coming from the center of the glade, or we hear something moving towards us from the center.
Everyone roll perception.
Gainer with the stellar rolls as always.
I don't know. That one makes a lot more sense than the stealth one.
True. Genra and Ugla. It sounds like voices. And they're not moving towards you. It sounds like several voices in like close congregation to each other, just beneath, just like below you in the glade in the center area. Genra, with your excellent perception, one of the voices sounds familiar.
Do I recognize that it might be my aunt?
Could be. Just like something like you're not making out words. It's just every now and then, you know, the uplift of a pitch, the rounding of a particular letter, just pings in your mind.
Mm-hmm. I can hear that. I can hear them. Just a little bit.
Yeah, I hear it too. Sounds like people.
I think it's my aunt. She might be one of them. My aunt Marge. Margaret.
You think she's undead?
I don't know, but it sounds like her sometimes.
Do you want to go talk to her?
I'm afraid if we upset them, they'll attack us or something. I don't know.
Yeah, they might just be trying to sound like people we know.
Perhaps it's a trick, or maybe it's not. But why would she be here? Why is she undead? Does she never sleep in death either? Oh my god.
Yeah, maybe she's been undead for a long time. I should have used this at your house.
Perhaps you should have.
She ever produce any interesting smell? Just kidding. Yeah, I vote that we leave and then come back and cut these down tomorrow.
Where are we leaving to?
Somewhere not near that.
Deeper in the forest. Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, Genra, do you want to try to walk around the tree and look at them? Maybe it looks like you're.
If I walk out there and I make the slightest noise, I'm afraid there will be very bad news for us. I don't
Again,
want to
on
burden you all like that.
top of it, I don't know how we're gonna get out. I like you make a lot of noise.
Oh, I can be real quiet. It's okay. Move like a ghost.
Did you know we knew that you were coming, right?
I mean, you knew we were in that general area, so you probably knew that I was coming.
No. Okay.
The ghosts don't know I'm up here, though.
Do we want to wait and see if they're going to move or do anything, or do we actually just want to get out of here?
Will any of y'all be able to sleep knowing there's undead spirits 30 feet from you?
I didn't say anything. I'll sleep like a baby.
I don't
Oh.
know.
Even me telling you that there's the undead right down that cliff doesn't creep you out at all?
Didn't say it. Didn't hear anything. You guys are crazy.
I'm a paladin. I think we should go.
Out of sight, out of mind.
I'm fine with going, but
I'll put it like this. I've never encountered the undead, and it's been a pleasant experience. Maybe this is the time. Maybe it is Huron. I don't know, but I wouldn't bank on it.
Lycus, what do you think?
If you all are able to hear things and they're whispering,
They can probably hear us.
yes, you're right. Shit.
Okay, yeah. Hey, forget everything I said. Ghosts are really cool. Huge fan. Like, I would never, do anything to hurt a ghost. In fact, I just want to help. He, he motions over his shoulder.
What if we pretend that we're one of them?
I'm like, I can't see you. Oh, wait, never mind. There's a fire. Of course I can see.
The fire. What
should
are they
you?
even- Oh God.
We can
What
leave
are they
the
whispering?
fire.
I just don't know what to do right now. I'm at a loss. Shall we just make a run for it?
No. We should make a walk for it.
A very fast walk.
A brisk, quiet walk. Yeah.
A stealthy walk.
A very stealthy walk.
A stealthy, brisk walk.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
Lycus pulls out his tool, taps his shoulder a couple of times to make a little turret.
Okay.
Ooh. Does that shoot holy water?
No, let's go.
Yeah.
So the four of you are planning to sneak off from I'm assuming northwards.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll stealth. Ugla calling his mega stealth.
Everybody else fucking sucks.
Ugla, the quietest boy that there ever was.
The
Yep.
only time that he's quiet,
All
this is
extremely loud.
So the
classic.
three of you are so concerned about how loud Ugla's going to be that all three of you trip over like the fortifications that Rezik had put around the camp to try and hamper people. You guys are all staring at Ugla like, oh my god, he's gonna be loud. All three of you tumble over these things, loudly crashing against the wood and the rocks.
What does Rezik do in particular, though?
Rezik, let's see, Rezik, you were unconcerned about the lights. You were walking particularly close to the cliffside. Make a dex save, Rezik.
Ooh.
Alright. So you stumble on this wood and lose a leg over the cliffside and like scramble to grab yourself while pushing a lot of rocks down the side of that rocky surface.
Very loudly,
A lot
yeah.
of scree comes down. Everyone
No.
hears this. The three of you stand up real quick. You get that the like freaked out cartoon face, and you turn backwards to see if anything's there. The dim
Is
lights-
he able to come up the cliff okay, or
Yeah,
should I help
he
him?
didn't fall or anything like that. He just like
Oh,
one
okay.
leg fell off, but he
Yeah.
rolled plenty.
But the little avalanche, yeah.
Yeah, the dim lighting that you could see through the foliage is gone. Everything seems
Oh,
fine. It's all good.
Maybe we're okay tonight.
Maybe we were overreacting.
give me just. Uggla's gonna walk up to the edge of the cliff.
Put yourself where you are. So from here, you wouldn't have seen anything back when you thought they were there. Like at best, through the foliage, you could only see the dim light they gave off.
Over on the left. Okay.
So
Well,
you're gonna have to go very far to the left or right to be able to see where they last were.
I mean, the trees would constitute full cover too, so divine sense wouldn't be useful here.
They're not full cover because you're looking through foliage and
Oh, sweet.
stuff.
Okay. So he's gonna say, I wonder if they're still there. And you.
Ping me the description again. Good. Okay. There are 3 undead within 15 feet of you.
Okay. He's just gonna say they're headed this way, and back away from the cliff edge.
As he calls out the danger. Three small floating orbs briefly flicker into being. Just a soft, bright light, maybe a 5-foot radius. Nothing more than a good, like, sturdy candle. Flickers in, gives you that slight blind from going from dark to light, and then flickers right back out, completely invisible.
Genra is super afraid and is in her mind trying to calm herself by thinking that it is her Aunt Marge. So she's thinking of images of her Aunt Marge and then those 3 items that she took from her Aunt Marge. Specifically that cricket one. It was a cricket, right? In the desert with the
Oh, you mean the
roses?
little painting?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. She's just kind of thinking, trying to calm herself.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need all 3 of you to make. I know. Hold up. Ashen. This class.
So that wait, there's 3. So Uggla didn't get a buddy.
He did not.
Oh.
Wisdom. Okay. I need everyone but Uggla to make a wisdom save.
Right.
Wisdom saves? Did I lose roll 20 or something? Hello?
Yeah. 15, 15, 3.
Yep.
I don't know why mine's not updated.
It's a.
Weird.
Can you see what I typed?
How about
Oh.
you guys see my roll?
Yeah.
That's bizarre. I guess I'll reconnect.
Okay.
Anyways, who got the 3?
Lycus.
Like us.
Lycus, you hear. Oh yeah, there they are. Neat. You hear, as if just bare inches from your face, a voice, soft voice that sounds familiar, but you can't quite place it. It whispers into your ear, maybe into your mind, of the past. Reminds you of failure, of something that went horribly wrong that you still regret to this day. What do you think about?
He thinks about something that went horribly wrong. It's reasonably fresh. Probably the first time through Alderheart.
As in, like, just recently when your friends were dying? I don't know if you said yes.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Um, Genra, you think you hear your grandmother or your great aunt again? You still don't make out the words, but it sounds so close. Just like wherever, like that flash. Maybe it was her. And Rezik, you hear a familiar voice from the last time you were trying to make something better of yourself as a merchant. You were when you were less concerned about being a ranger and more concerned about, making something of a merchant of yourself. And you went to Alderheart. Things were going well. You hear a familiar tone, some merchant you looked up to, someone you aspired to be like. Ugla, your three friends, they're blinking from that flash. And you saw the flashes. They just weren't close enough to give you that like temporary night blindness. They're all blinking from the flash, maybe covering their face or something like that. And Lycus is no longer gathering up his tools. He looks just kind of temporarily stricken. The other two seem fine, though maybe slightly distracted or lost in thought.
Lycus, are you okay?
Are you okay, Lycus?
No.
We need to get moving. So I'm gonna walk on over there and try and put my arm around him and move him away from the cliff's edge a little.
It is easy enough to move, not trapped or really even affected in any major way. Struck with memory.
What was that last line?
Struck with memory.
Oh,
Um,
it just looks like he's lost in thought.
More than that, like the other two are distracted by some sort of thought or memory. Lycus is like re-experiencing something painful or traumatic.
I don't know what that flash did, but it looks like it got you a little harder than the other two. We probably need to move away from the area.
They're dying.
They're dying.
Dying.
Yeah, they're undead. Let's get our things and go.
All right. The four of you make your way north out of the region, off the map more or less. It's well into the night before you decide it's safe to stop. At one point, Genra, you're pretty sure you do hear water while you're making a kind of wavering path northward, since you don't really have a trail to follow. But yeah, somewhere to the east, you think you hear the sounds of water. You go until you feel safe, given the hurried departure and the somewhat or greatly distracted states of your trio of companions. There's not a whole lot of attention being paid at the moment. More like like Rezik and Genra are thinking, especially Genra. Genra's lost in thought about her great aunt. Rezik is, I'd say Rezik's probably having one of those anxiety kind of nights where you're thinking about what your life could have been. But Lycus is definitely the worst of it. Like he after maybe 10 minutes of travel, Lycus, you kind of come out of the reverie, but that doesn't mean that the effects on your mood and psyche are gone. Half an hour of kind of aimless northward walking later, you decide that either you're tired or this is probably good enough. You find a reasonably flat spot. You do.
And start gathering up, small trees and sticks.
Ugla, in fits of confusion and rage, just walks up to small trees and pulls them from the ground.
Maybe dead looking trees.
Sure.
Felled trees.
Yeah, sure. Or large fallen branches, whatever. You find
Right.
wood.
Yes, wood for a fire.
Okay.
And try and cobble it together and get that going. Just, feeling the temperature drop as it gets later.
It has. You were harried when you left, and so you left. The anxiety and adrenaline causes your body temperature to rise. But the 30 minutes of walking cooled rapidly, and part of the reason, probably the main reason you stopped, is that you needed to stop and build a fire. It's probably somewhere in the 25 to 35 Fahrenheit range here.
Yeah, we got to get this up and going. I can't feel my toes or my talons, but
So cold.
Am I too anxiety stricken to be able to help
No,
or anything like that?
You're
okay.
No. Like none of this impacts your mechanical functionality. Just bad mental health day.
I'll get the fire together. Rezik, Genra, y'all should try and disguise the camp as best you can.
We have a fire going. We're not gonna be able to.
There's probably still something you can do.
I go to find bedding to lay down on to keep our whatever we're sleeping on off the ground, so we're not losing as much heat.
Genra has an amazing idea about how to stealth the camp in this particular spot. Apparently,
Yep.
she's like, "Oh yes, if we put the fire in between these trees, it will be almost invisible."
Beautiful. I knew y'all could figure something out.
All right.
Sometimes I have it, and sometimes I don't.
You strike camp. You not strike camp. You make camp. You get the fire going. You huddle around it. You settle yourselves close enough that, with the bedding that Rezik provided, you can be off the ground to keep yourselves away from any local bugs, and close enough to the fire to stay warm under cool temperatures.
Excellent. Do you want to, Rezik, do you want to set the alarm?
I don't know if I can or not. You want me to? Well, the reason why I say it is because the duration lasts for 8 hours. I don't know if I can activate it again. It's
a ritual spell. So you can cast it as many times as you want.
Cool.
And I think you can only have one alarm set, but that means that every time you set a new alarm, the last one fades.
Makes sense.
okay.
It'd be funny if the last one just went off.
Well, it's internal, so.
Yeah.
Well, it definitely did whenever we left because you left with
They
us.
flashed
That's
into
true.
the. Oh yeah, that's true.
So I want to go ahead and set up another one. I'm just gonna go ahead and set up another one. Same thing.
Okay.
Everything including everything except for us three, and include like Ugla is definitely will trip the alarm.
The three of you, not Ugla, are safe. Ugla or anything else will trip. Internal or external?
External.
Okay. Who's on watch?
It looked like y'all get flashed pretty good. I'll take a first watch and let y'all try and sleep it off a little bit.
Thank you.
Seeing as we haven't eaten, I go ahead and make some good berries as well and say, "Hey, everybody, here, eat up, please."
Get some magic
And I
apples.
pass that one out to everybody.
Magic apples all around.
Yay.
Okay. First watch.
Oh yeah. So,
Proceed.
who wants second, third, and fourth? Maybe let Lycus have last. He looks a little out of it.
I think I'll
Pepper's
find
third.
after I have sleep.
Third. Let me
Okay.
get some water.
Okay.
Rezek second. Lycus last.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Perceive. Ugla.
My perception.
Yep. As always.
What perception?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay. All right.
So something bad's gonna happen in the future. I get a feeling if it doesn't
Yeah.
happen now. If you even get to your watch.
Go ahead and roll yours as well, James. I will roll. Lycus, I need a perception. James.
Yes, I'm rolling.
There it is. Okay. Ugla. Watch seems uneventful. Not disturbed by any nighttime critters. No other scary or spooky flashes in the dark. Rezek.
Does everybody seem to sleep okay?
Lycus is not sleeping well. He's sleeping. He's getting rest, but I wouldn't say it's.
Yeah. Yeah, so Ugla's worried that Lycus got his brain fried.
Rezek, during your watch, you are distracted by your previous thoughts. They're starting. You're starting to get over it. To remember the more of the present. But given the state of watch, being alone in the dark with nothing but your thoughts, it's hard to just push it all away. Several times you find yourself looking inward for an unknown amount of time and snapping out of it and looking around like crazy, making sure you didn't miss anything. A few times you hear or think you hear the sound of hooved feet passing through the forest underbrush.
Okay. mm,
First time you brush it off, there's not really a good reason for there to be that particular sound in this area, and you're tired and distracted. The second time, hi doggo. The second time,
I thought that's what you were saying
No,
for a minute. I was
no,
like, wait a minute.
Pepper's dog looked in the door and then left. The second time it comes by, though, it's hard to ignore, a repeat. What are you doing?
I'm gonna run get Pepper real quick. Got her.
Good job.
Let me think on this for a second.
Oh, she left again.
Okay, be right back.
Okay.
Oh man. Well, I was gonna say I want to wake Ugla because I don't want to disturb Lycus with the little sleep that he's going to get or seems to be getting. As I can't really see well in the dark.
Right.
And I'm not going to leave the camp because I can't see well in the dark.
Okay.
So I want to get somebody that can see at night. I'd rather wake him up and see if he sees anything.
Wait his return.
Yeah. Since he stepped away.
I guess it's a good time for a short break. You want to?
Yeah, real quick. I should be more in a second.
Couldn't find her.
What's your name?
Must have been lost.
Oh man.
Rezek is going to awaken you, but then he went to get water. Oh, there she is.
Sorry.
No worries.
All good. Good excuse. I went and grabbed a Japanese-inspired rice lager with jasmine tea.
Huh. Sounds interesting. Yay, water.
Water.
Alright.
Mm.
So,
Alright.
Rezek, you've been asleep an hour, hour and a half, maybe Ugla. Rezek softly shakes you awake.
Hey, Ugla. Or rather, I did. Well, I was gonna say never mind. I don't even say anything, but since I already said it, you're fine. I lean in and whisper as softly as I can. It's like I hear hooves. And I can't see anything out there. I didn't want to leave.
Yeah. I mean, for all the weird stuff we've seen tonight, I'm glad you woke me up. I was gonna peer around in the distance, see if he sees anything.
Okay, roll perception. You hear it too. Moved feet passing through the forest underbrush.
It's not just you. It sounds like there's some horses coming through. Can I tell which direction it is?
Nice. Seems
Seems what?
east.
East. Oh, we might just be near a road. Luckily, Ginner was able to disguise our camp pretty well. Could just be travelers.
So
I'd
we
say
think.
keep your eyes peeled to the east, and if they get any closer or walk up, let us all know. And Ugla's gonna lay back down and go back to sleep.
Okay. Rezek, the rest of your watch passes uneventfully. Genra, waking third watch. Take a look about. You also can't see in the dark, right? Or is that Lycus?
Right.
Okay, yeah. Lycus and Ugla can.
I assume we pass off the information.
I assume so as well. That you.
Okay.
So Rezek informed you that at some point during his watch he heard hoofed feet on the forest underbrush somewhere to the east.
Got it.
Your dreams were somewhat troubled. Well, I guess not troubled. It's that it's like mixed bag of dreams. You're not sure if they were nightmares. They weren't good dreams. Nothing really like terrifying or bad happened either. Largely they were dominated though by a circle or gathering of spirits, figures in the dark. Throughout your watch, you sit, ponder upon this, since you can't really see anything outside of the small campfire anyways. A couple of times, maybe two, maybe three, you think you hear those hooved feet. It sounds very far. Maybe it's just the wind and some sticks blowing over something in particular. Watch ends. like as you're awakened, informed of the potential hoof sounds. I guess during your watch, given that you can see in the dark and you've been informed of these hooves, eventually the being trapped with your thoughts weighs on you. Get up to take a quiet stroll. Roll advantage stealth. Okay. Reasonably quiet. Don't step on any extra loud twig. At one point, you find a nice spot with just the smallest break in the foliage through the canopy and see the moon passing overhead and take the opportunity to lean back comfortably against a nearby tree. And I need you to roll a Constitution save. You feel sluggish, slow, heavy, and feel something.
Does that last a little bit? You broke up.
I said, "Hold on, Rennie needs to Google something."
Ah,
I like how Pepper ushered her dog in and was like, "Come on in."
I
After you.
heard this like squeak
Uh-huh.
at the door, and it was him. It was like the quietest squeak,
You.
and he wanted to come in. So I was like, "All right, come on in."
Yeah, you feel so. You feel that you feel slow, sluggish, a little heavy, but your mind is like, oh, water, sugar, minerals, hormones, interesting, and the feeling fades. What
I
are, your,
like that glass, by the way.
what are your thoughts about that, Lycus?
A Christmas gift
James,
3 or 4 years ago.
did I lose you?
I just caught up. What was the? Did you say right before that?
Did you hear me say the water, sugar, blah blah blah?
No.
Oh, okay, so yeah, you were leaning against you leaned against the tree to gaze upon the moonlight through the foliage. You felt sluggish, slow, a little heavy, but then your mind, just like pinged knowledge. Water, sugar, minerals, hormones, heat. And then the sluggish feeling fades, and the knowledge just kind of sinks back in.
Hormones? What?
What?
Hormones? What?
Yep.
Um.
As you lean away from the tree, kind of, surprised by both the feeling that overcame your body and the knowledge that kind of pinged into your mind. Roll Constitution. I'd say regular.
Okay.
The closest I can get to a skill from different systems called body awareness. Your hand is sticky.
I thought I had a glove on that.
You thought you did.
Huh.
For the uninitiated, the things I named are the components of tree sap.
Oh.
He quickly finds a glove and shoves it on his.
You head back to the camp and spot your glove, like buried in your bedroll. Looks like it just happened to get like rubbed off while you may have been rolling about in your bad dreams.
Slide it on and get back to my work.
Okay. Aside from that, just once, right before the twilight of pre-dawn, you also hear these hoofs on forest floor. Sounds like they are very far, just at the edge of what might be your audible range, somewhere to the east or southeast.
Okay.
Watches end. Sunrise arrives. Party awakens.
Did anyone see what that was last night?
What was?
The the sound, the hooves.
Oh, it was a distance away. I didn't catch anything.
Randy, are we kind of back to normal, or are we kind of still out of it?
Nope, you feel fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it definitely sounded like hooves. There's a bunch of them out east. Hopefully, just some travelers.
You know, I had a thought. Do we have any of that hardwood?
No, I think we left it all there unless somebody dragged some along. I don't think so, though. We're trying to be quiet.
Right. Well, let's head back and see if we can get a small piece of it.
Yeah, I mean, we can head back to that grove and get a big old chunk of it and get the hell out of these woods.
That sounds good.
Thank you.
Doggy shake.
Yeah, he's like, you want a shake? All right. Oh, thanks for the other one. Thank you.
So nice to meet you, Mom.
I don't have.
Ask Hugla. How long does he think that it could possibly take today?
To get down back to where we came from?
No, to be able to get a tree down large enough, if that's what we're still doing.
Okay, so estimating it took 45 minutes to cut down the small one, and one of the ones that we need would be like twice that size. Is that right?
Depends on how much you want, I guess.
Hmm.
Like you weren't given a set weight or anything.
Yeah. I mean, that small tree took 45 minutes, so I'd guess a tree 3 times that size would be, I don't know, 2-3 hours.
Okay. So I guess if everybody else is done here, everybody else ready to head back?
If I could try one thing real quick. Pulls off his glove and tries to poke at
Tries to poke at what?
the heartwood.
What are you hoping to gain here?
Trying to figure out what it's made of to see if it could possibly be replicated.
Nothing happens.
What was that?
Nothing happens.
Okay. Puts his glove back on. All right. Well, I'm good to go.
Let's go chop some trees.
Okay. On the way back, so we basically just headed north, right?
Roughly.
Okay. Ask the group if we want to kind of head a little to the east to see if we can find that road, or if there's a road nearby, and just kind of slightly veer off. Because we should still have a basic understanding of where we need to go.
Okay. Do you do that or not?
Um,
Pepper says yes.
Yeah.
I'd like to find our way back. See if we can find our way back to exactly where we were. That should be difficult enough without trying to veer east.
No, we have a pretty good understanding of where we're at in the forest, or we should. My natural. Hold on, I'll ping it again.
Right, you can't get lost.
Right, he's not allowed to get lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, the entire group's not allowed to get lost, I do believe.
Yes. So, it takes a little while, not because you're not lost, just because you guys took a winding path northward, and so you're following it backwards, rather than like a
Inside
straight
good.
route.
During that, I want to look for tracks to see if I can see what was walking around.
Well, so do you go east, or are you headed back to the glade?
We can go east a bit as long as you know how to get to where we came from.
So east.
Yep, so east.
Roll survival. Welcome back, dog.
Did you hear him?
No.
He was like,
But so whenever you're trying to like, can we just assume that survival is always with advantage since we have 3 people?
No, because some of these tasks will be things that only one person would be any good at or could perform.
That makes sense.
Like in this case, we're using Natural Explorer pretty exclusively here. So it makes
Right.
sense
So
for
nobody,
Rezik's
and it
only
was
capable.
dark, so we
Right.
wouldn't know.
Rezik, you do spot some tracks. They are not so much in the soft earth because this is like a forest floor. There's lots of stuff on the floor, but you do spot bent branches. Like pushed aside vines or bushes or slightly cleared areas. That looks like maybe 15 feet from your camp edge is where you first spot them, and they were headed from like north of your camp to southeast of your camp. Then you continue down further, and Rezik's pointed you guys ahead. He's ranging a little to the east to check it out again, and you spot the tracks again. This time headed from the southeast to the north. They doubled back, maybe 25 feet out from the path.
Wow. I'm glad we didn't try to camp here last night. People on hordes. You get people on horses. You get fucking ghost. Not a good.
You guys make your way back to the glade.
Yeah.
You arrive.
I was going to ask if I saw any fire or anything like that could give me a hint of what it could have been.
Gotcha. Roll nature.
Roll what?
Nature. You don't spot any fur. Your nature roll is good enough that rather than that being like, oh, I didn't find it, it kind of bothers you because some of the bent and broken branches are on like nettles, brambles, thorns. It should have torn fur if there was any.
Okay.
You guys arrive.
Now, I don't plan to investigate it any further. Yeah.
All right. You guys arrive back at the glade. It is mid-morning. Got a full day ahead of you.
Is the axe still here?
I don't know. How does right tool for the right job work?
It lasts until it's used.
So it's like semi-permanent.
Yeah.
Okay. You got an axe.
All right. How big of a tree we want, guys? How big of a tree can we move?
That's a good
Is the
question.
makeshift stuff that we made last night still there?
The skiff is still here.
Okay.
If you were to like chop out and chop up the core, you could probably move maybe I don't know, 70 to 100 pounds of wood with reasonable assurance that you wouldn't break the skiff.
Okay, so it's like a medium tree.
Yeah, the center of a medium tree.
All right, we might be out of here pretty quick. unless I hit my hand.
I remember the medium down tree that I saw earlier when I was looking around, and I mentioned
recall
that to Ugla. Oh, do I? Okay.
Did,
Ooh,
did they say something about fresh wood being better?
did they?
I think they did.
I don't know, Lycus. What did they say? Or do you remember precisely?
It sounds like it has fallen into a deep slumber.
Yeah, his lack of sleep last night and the foreboding feeling is just too much.
Indeed. Seems he doesn't
And so
remember.
We have
we can go.
all
We can
day.
check it out. We do not have all day. We wanted to get this and just go ahead and start heading back.
Yeah, I mean it's 6:30 in the morning, so you got a long time. Okay, maybe I can take the piece that I chopped up last night and compare it to that downed one, see if it looks any different.
That works.
You head off to the down tree. Down tree is at the eastern edge around here. Go. And seems to have maybe it was on the top of this higher rise and it rolled down this one cliff. Four of you make your way over there. Take a look. I was inspecting. Roll investigate, Ugla.
Oh, I was thinking I was just gonna like put the axe into like a part of it, and then just like, yeah, this is gonna be investigated no matter what.
You can investigate it in the tree or out of the tree. You still got to look at it.
Yeah, that's true. Shit.
Okay. You can have a plus D4 from Lycus, who has apparently woken up. Ah, good
Oh.
at 8. So you're not getting a good look at it on the inside of the tree. So you hack out a small chunk from the the dead end. It looks essentially the same as the wood being used for the skiff.
Lycus, do you remember anything about the shopkeep saying that the wood had to be fresh, or if it was worth more fresh than down?
You definitely remember that the shopkeep said something about like all like previously fallen trees, but you have no idea what it was.
I don't know.
I mean, I get the strongest nagging feeling that we're supposed to be getting it fresh. You know, give me a couple hours. I'll take down one of these big old trees for us.
All right, sounds good.
Let's get it fresh.
I mean, we came all this way. We don't want to head back to the wrong thing.
Strength and dex.
Damn it! One times that I need it, I roll a 4 and a 2.
Yep.
Well, I guess it's at least it's not like to hold my footing above a lava river
Sure.
or some bullshit.
Yep,
Could be.
exactly.
This is just how much time it takes you, not whether you live or die.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's going to take you a long time. You will spend the better part of your day, maybe 4 to 6 hours, working on this tree.
Yeah.
What are the rest of you doing for this entire day?
Well, until like a little afternoon, right? Maybe to 1 o'clock. I finished.
It's 9 a.m. So if it's 4 to 6 hours,
It's 9. I thought we woke up at 6.
Right, and then you wandered back, had breakfast, you had to break camp.
Cleared the trees. I mean, I probably started it realistically like 8 or 8:30.
Sure. I'll give
So
you
can we call it 2:30?
So it's somewhere, so if it's 4 to 6 hours. It's either noon. It's somewhere between noon and 2 that you'll finish.
Okay, cool.
So for the first half of your day, trio, what are you up to?
I think Genra's kind of gonna want to wander over to that middle area just out of sheer curiosity to see if she sees anything that was left by the undead or, any clues as to what happened.
Okay.
Which tree is Ugla working on?
That's true. Ugla, place yourself upon your tree. There you go. Okay. Genra's checking the central area. Lycus is there by some rocks. Resnick, what are you up to? Doing.
Yep. It's still nagging at my brain that none of that fur was left around. I'm going to be kind of trying to keep it on everybody that I can from up here, while also, I guess, I don't know what I would be foraging for in this area, but I guess trying to find things that would be useful, like
extra dry tinder for starting fires, or
maybe some
straight
common herbs,
straight twigs for your arrow fletching.
Yeah.
So I mean, given the amount of time, you can certainly find those things. You don't have to roll; just take as much time as you need, basically. Genra, you investigate the central area. Perceive or investigate, whichever's better for you.
Probably perception. That was terrible.
Of course.
I regret doing that. I so regret it. I should have just gone investigation.
There's the one bad perception roll
Yep.
you've had the whole game.
Yeah. I was really hoping for something juicy here.
Okay. You inspect the area. How long are you willing to spend here? Are you gonna, like, if you find nothing, that like you look around, there's nothing, would you give up?
No, I think she'd probably spend probably a good, I don't know,
A while.
45 minutes kind of just wandering slowly.
Roll investigate as well, then. Of course. So you intend to spend a few minutes, then maybe a little longer, like 20 minutes. 3 hours go by while you kind of wander the glade, this central lower valley area. During those 3 hours, and every time you're thinking about, all right, I've really put too much time to this. Fuck this. I'm gonna go hang out and play my instrument. You spot something. There's a little something on the ground that makes you keep looking around. The first things you spot are actually on the outskirts. You're wandering around in these areas. Eventually, you'll piece together where probably the spots that the orbs of light first appeared. And spotting those somethings, it's maybe just like small depressions in the grass, as if something small and circular were resting upon it long enough to leave it laying down. And then in that third hour, at the 2.5 hour mark, you finally come back to the center. There's got to be something here. And you find a total of 8 small circular depressions forming a rough circle around the central area.
But what does it all mean?
Alien.
Okay. Alright, I guess she will walk back over to Rezik and Ugla, or, Rezik at least.
Rezek
I
rejoins you atop the hill.
okay.
I
We probably got.
I took a
Go
look
ahead.
around. Didn't really see anything remarkable, but I did notice that it did look indeed like something had congregated there down, and I point to that like circle-esque area, or at least what I saw was a circle. That's yeah, that's probably all I say.
Did you see any tracks or prints or anything
Yes,
else?
it looked like there were deposits on the ground where something round had been. And they all formed this circle kind of off to the middle down there. So I assume that's where they congregated. And I'm not really sure why that particular spot, but that's pretty much all I got out of it, unfortunately.
Can you show me what you found? And I guess we can go back over there and take a look.
Sure. Are we walking over there now?
You're there now. Gasp.
Genra takes him over to the main circle spot, and then she kind of points to the perimeter and says, like, they were walking in, it seemed like, to this spot.
Okay, I guess I need to.
What's your goal here? What do you want to learn, or what are you hoping to look for?
I'm trying to figure out whether, first I need to see whether or not I can see the same thing that she saw.
I mean, given that she will point them out, you don't have to roll to see the soft grass depressions.
Okay. I'm guessing I'm gonna roll survival to see if it's tracks of like an animal that would be possibly be in the area, and then I guess, or maybe that would be nature.
No, let's do survival.
Okay.
What do you want, dude? Hi. Did you eat?
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me an investigation as well.
Okay.
Enra can assist you with this one. You can have an advantage. Or roll again, rather.
Okay.
Bye.
Much better. Not tracks. They're too perfectly circular. In fact, that throws you for a while. Like they don't like travel. There aren't like little orb spots from out there to in here. There's one way out there and one right here in this circle for each position. What you do discover is that right around the center of this rough circle, in maybe a 5 to 10 foot area, it's not perfectly round. The grass here is younger than the grass around it. The roots are less deep.
Well, I let Genra know that that's what I'm seeing, and it's like, well, this looks grass looks younger than here,
It
but I'm not
does
sure what
indeed.
that means.
It looks revitalized and new. You're right. I hadn't quite put that together before. It's very strange, is it, that the grass in this area was revitalized, or was it that the grass outward was killed? Not killed, but
Devitalized.
initiated? Yes, devitalized.
Ugla calls from the tree way over there.
Devitalized.
The word you're looking for is devitalized, guys. Did you make that? Or maybe it's more wilted than the rest of it.
The glade itself, I mean, the entire area is fresh foliage. Like it doesn't look less lively.
Okay. That is very strange.
How about both of you roll intelligence for a hint?
I was actually going to make a suggestion, but
No.
Nice
well,
roll.
I'll take the
Go-
hint we
no,
got.
no, go ahead, Rezek.
I was going to say maybe we can try and use sharpen a stick and dig a little bit and see what we can find around the area.
Your hint was going to be that by younger, I didn't mean more alive.
Okay. Well, so that yeah. So then I definitely want to dig.
Yeah, it's just
Mhm.
new.
Yeah.
Yep.
How do you intend to dig?
Lycus pulls out his shovel out of his bag.
Good plan. Okay, you got a shovel.
Sweet. Now I'm gonna. I don't want to dig the circle it up itself, so I kind of dig around the circle to see if I can fill anything underneath it rather than just destroy the right in the middle of it.
Okay. Digging around the central area doesn't really yield you any results. It really just confirms the thought process that the grassroots here go, as deep as they should, given how long this glade has probably been here. Whereas if you get close to that central area, the grassroots aren't as deep. That central spot, has been dug up before. You're muted or something.
I said, with that, I'm just going to dig the rest of it up because I didn't find anything on the outside that.
Okay. Roll strength.
Whee!
Could I inspire him as he's doing this?
Sure. Get an extra D6.
Potentially almost double it.
Indeed. Roll 1d6, Rezek.
Okay.
Of course not. That would be silly. So it takes, let's just say, as long as it takes Ugla to finish with the tree.
Along with that,
For another like 2.5 hours for you to dig this hole. Ugla, as you are sweating bullets, you've taken a couple of breaks. It's a good thing you have bird hands, and so they're rough and not really prone to blistering. Otherwise, you'd be in real trouble.
Yeah, even with the gloves.
Yep. But finally, you get it to a point where it can be, pushed over against the large wedge you've built, and you feel a natural, ingrained urge to yell a word.
Sit out.
Sit down.
Yeah,
All right,
that's their
it.
word.
That's the word. Got it. That's how they call the trees falling.
That's how they let you know.
Sit down.
Yep, just like that. It calls the attention of all three of you over, like, oh yes, finally, it's over. And right about that time that you break through, Rezek, there's a it's been getting a little tougher as you got deeper, and about 4, maybe 5 feet down, you find a wooden box.
Hey guys, I found a wooden box.
How big is it?
Yeah. How big is
You
it?
haven't uncovered the whole thing, but fairly large. It's not small.
Yeah.
It is more than like 2 by 2 at least, more than.
Walking over.
What did
Oh,
you
you
find?
found something. We both say from atop the hole.
Well, I'm skeptical about things ever since that cauldron. Do any of you guys want to open it up, or maybe take a look at it and see? I mean, we can finish
Yeah.
digging it out and see what.
Let's get it out of that hole. I'm gonna help him get it, uncover it more, and get it out of that hole.
Okay. The tree falls over. Ugla, tired but curious, comes over to dig out the rest of this box. It's maybe 4 feet long and 2 wide. About
This
1.5
reminds me of a
tall.
coffin.
It could be a coffin for some of the shorter races.
Are there any adornments?
After this long, as long as it's been down here, if there were, they've either been rubbed off or it's too dirty to tell. Like the wood itself, I mean, it's been under here for an amount of time. The wood itself is dirty, is filthy.
Okay, let's lift it out of the hole. Rezik, you ready?
Oh, well, I'll see what we can do with it.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna try and lift it up and put it on flat Earth.
Both of you roll strength. Nice.
Oh my god.
All right.
Thank
Rezik,
goodness.
exhausted from all his digging, does almost literally nothing to help. But Ugla, you discover it's not a terribly heavy box, and you end up lifting it out yourself.
Okay, but I like slide my hand towards his side so it looks like he's open.
Right. Of course. Like you're picking up like one arm on the side, so you're like, oh, this is where I'm holding it, but your other arm's all the way under, like
Underneath it, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we got.
All right, you've got a. It is. It now reminds you more of a coffin. It is nailed shut on the sides. There is no lid.
You know, given the undead floating around it, the fact that this is supposed to stay closed, I think we just dug up a grave.
Yes,
But it
what
was
the
unmarked.
relevance of it?
So somebody didn't want us to find it. So I kind of feel like we should figure out what it is.
But it's somebody who cared about something because otherwise you would,
That's true.
Well, do you think there's any danger in opening it, guys? I don't want to open it.
Maybe.
And then...
It is something very interesting. I'm not going to lie. I'd love to see it opened, given that we were experiencing that strange phenomenon last night.
Maybe we
then
could.
there was also another place kind of similar on the ground way over there that exactly like what I dug up here. I don't know if there's another coffin down there, but I want to assume.
I don't know. Maybe we can release those spirits if we release whatever's in this box.
well, at least give it some sort of proper burial, right? You know those, right?
Yeah, after we take a peek inside. Hey, if it's just an old body, then definitely we put it back in there. But if it's something that could be useful for us, we should use it. Maybe we were meant to find it.
I was like, yeah, maybe. And when are we going to put it back down? Hugla can say a prayer, or maybe hopefully it doesn't anger their god too much, or maybe you could just say a general prayer.
I'm sure the dead and the gods understand. If it's a body, we'll put it back. If it's something cool, we'll use it, right?
Fair enough.
As he's worried about it, or I guess since we're going to open it, he backs away a good bit.
Yeah. Razik has the right idea. Everybody back up at least 15 feet, and I'm going to open it up just in case, something explodes or goes crazy.
Okay. How do you open it? Are you like it's nailed shut? So you planning on just like digging your talons in and ripping it open, or do you want to maybe use your shield as a lever, or what?
Uh,
Oh, that's a good
Lycus
idea.
pulls out hammer and titan.
Ah, okay. So Lycus pulls out the right tool for the job.
Andy, do you want to try
Hands
and
it
open
over.
it with precision, or do you want me to try to do that?
I can give it a shot.
Okay, I'll back up 15 feet.
Takes a few minutes, but with the right tools, it's not exactly difficult. Just time consuming. Lycus, you're maybe halfway through. You've got one side, or maybe like the top or bottom half. Um, when the long, basically just pressure based seal, breaks. The coffin or whatever the box is still closed, but the pressure of the lid is no longer, sealing shut against the sides, and a soft, kind of airy sigh releases from the box. The smell is largely stale, but slightly decay.
What do you see or don't see?
It's probably a coffin, but let me finish opening
Okay.
it.
Another 5 minutes, and he pulls out the last couple nails on the far end. It's openable. You open it like this, or are you making some?
Yeah, Lycus goes ahead and opens it up.
Okay. Uh, inside, you slide off the top, revealing it to air and sun for the first time in many years. Inside, you find a number of bones, numerous bones, all bones, and within, around, on top of these bones, a number of items. There appears to be some sort of short blade. There's a well-made and still good-looking cloak, and a small, well, maybe a medium-sized stone slab, about the size of a book. Not the thickness, but like the XY dimensions of a book.
Oh, nice. I think this is somebody's.
Uh, Aglo walks over, looks down at the bones. Does it look like does it look like the bones that would make up one body, or is it just like a random assortment of bones?
Roll medicine. Um, it takes you a minute because the first thing you're thinking is like, well, these bones are pretty small. Maybe it was a gerbine. You start counting, like, ah, yes, is this one gerbine's worth of bones? No, no, that can't be it. Some of them are too small, and I'm not sure if there's enough of them. Wait, there are a lot of those itty bitty ones. It takes you maybe 30 seconds to a minute before it really dawns on you. This is somewhere around 6 bodies worth of bones, all of which are very small.
So this isn't just a grave. This is about 6 people's worth of a grave, and they're very tiny. Either a very small race or children of a larger race.
Are all those items bigger than the bones?
Yes.
Like what the bones would make up?
They are.
Okay, so they're reasonably not their items.
Probably not.
Yeah.
If you like take your sword or a stick or something and shift them around a little, you'll spot the hip bones. Basically the biggest bones in the box, aside from like fractured skull plate. These are the bodies of 6 children.
Yeah, these are definitely kids.
Joy.
You said they were kids?
Yeah, 6 children. Their hips are very small.
Oh, my. And what else was in the box?
Some items and a tablet. Lycus, are you able to read anything off that?
Let me see the tablet.
You fish the tablet out, and it does in fact have etched, not necessarily glyphs, but letters from a language older than the current version of Birdfolk in written speech.
Should I try to make an int check to try to piece it together?
Yeah, I wanted you to roll language, but that's not a skill anymore. Go ahead.
Yeah, linguistics would be perfect for it.
Right. Some of the symbols are similar, but not enough of them for you to really make heads or tails of it.
And they're definitely like bird folk. It's not some other kind
It
of
looks
language.
it looks like just like an older version of Birdfolk. To
Okay.
Lycus, he's the only one looking at it at the moment.
Right.
You know, when I picked it up and looked at it before I handed it to him, I would have recognized if it was Orin, right?
Definitely not the language of the air
Elementals.
elementals. Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, I still don't exactly know where that lines up. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
He'll hand it over to Resik and Genra.
Okay.
See if they recognize.
Okay. And roll int.
And he'll start on a detect magic.
Kresic has no fucking clue.
I can't even read.
Kresic's not even sure he's literate. Like he's looking at it like, did I know how to read before? Okay. Genra, it does. You think you could make this? You could puzzle this out with enough time. Might take you a couple hours to build an alphabet out of the letters you can recognize.
Okay.
But in an hour or two, you could probably puzzle these out. 10 minutes later, as Genra's sitting there pondering letters, like as you finish your detect magic, the cloak and dagger are both magical. Okay.
Cloak and dagger.
Cloak, you're not sure. Dagger, necromancy of some sort, but an effect you are unfamiliar with.
What were you able to glean of the items, Lycus?
I'm not sure about the cloak. Um, you said the dagger was a necromantic effect, or
Yeah,
the cloak?
the dagger has a necromantic effect, but you don't recognize the effect. You can see that it's necromantic in nature, and it's medium in power, but what it does, you cannot opine.
And there's no runes or anything similar.
Um, there are etchings, but they are not. They don't form a word. They're stylistic, perhaps, or maybe ritualistic.
Okay. No idea on the cloak. The dagger is something revolving around
Necromancy. These children may have been sacrificed for something. That would explain the spirits being bound.
Let's go ahead and dig up the other box. Can
What other box?
I thought we said there was a second box.
Mm-mm.
Said there could be a second box. I said there's another marking similar to this one on the ground.
There's
Oh,
another
okay.
circle.
I thought there wasn't another circle, but there's like tracks
thought-
leading in around where they like first appeared.
They were all like little dots all around the edges, and then they
Right.
all came and formed a circle.
Yep.
Correct.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, all right. My mistake. I thought there was one that was like 10 to 20 feet away.
So I got a weird hunch about this, guys. I think we should bury these bones in 6 holes outside of this grove and take these items.
I mean, I can't say anything against that at this point. I'm still working on this deciphering what this tablet says, but I I don't know. It seems strange that 6 children would have been buried together like this. So yes,
Yeah.
that sounds about right.
In an unmarked grave that's haunted with a necromancy dagger. This doesn't seem like something sealed with love.
The better question is, where is the soul that did this to them?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure I want to meet who did this to children.
Yes,
Would
I'm a little nervous taking these items if they belong to said being, but
Hmm. We can
I mean,
always
what else will we
sell
do?
them in town. Make it
If they
someone
get
else's problem.
would I know roughly like how long it would take for bones to get like that based on me hunting?
Like how long it would take them to completely decompose to like a bleached bone state.
Yep.
Um, Given that they were buried and in a tightly sealed box, quite a long time, years.
Okay.
You know,
Well,
I'm tired, but yeah, like I said, I got a weird hunch that they deserve proper graves away from this cursed.
I
So
agree. I think that's
Ugla's
what
gonna
we owe
start.
them, at least.
Ugla's gonna just lug the box out past the perimeter and try and find a suitable spot to make 6 tiny holes and then split the bones up.
Does that make sense per the religion check?
I mean, as far as just like giving a proper burial to bones, sure, it could, depending on what religion you observe. Uh, Depending on what these bones were used for, it might not be enough if you're thinking like bad juju and necromancy and whatnot. But at the bare minimum, it certainly can't hurt. Oh, we lost Pepper. We got Pepper. Maybe. Did I lose everybody? They're all frozen. Stream still up? Yeah.
Yeah,
Hello?
it like
Oh,
Hello.
there
literally
you
okay,
are.
Randy.
crashed.
Hey,
Rolling outages.
Like a
rolling
West Coast
outages.
crash.
It's crazy.
So these are pretty small bones, right?
Yep.
Like I could probably get away with like a 2 foot hole to dump them.
Sure.
1/6 of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, how long is it gonna take me to dig 6 2 foot holes?
The ground here is relatively soft, so 40,
Sure.
50 minutes. Yeah, an hour at most.
Okay, yeah, he'll drag the box beyond the glade, which he's convinced is something unnatural and terrible,
Yeah.
and dig 6 small holes. Put 1/6 of the bones because it's impossible to like build out a whole fucking skeleton with each of them to know whose was what, and then put 6 little rocks to mark a headstone for each of them.
Okay.
And then say a quick prayer to Altus to watch over them and whatever may have befallen them.
Do so. An hour later, you feel relatively good about the good you did here.
All right, guys, let's load up that tree and get on back.
The tree itself is too heavy for your skiff. You're going to have to cut out the heartwood.
So we put it on there and it won't move.
It will. It's not that it won't move. It will break. Like so, a skiff is two thick poles with like canvas or something between them to hold something. So the poles won't break, but the canvas would rip out.
Yeah.
Okay. With some time and assistance, Lycus can cut out most of the usable heartwood after with another like hour's effort. Meaning it is
Like 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got maybe 2 hours left of daylight, and completed one of your 2 side quests.
Let's go ahead and get on the side road. Get down the road a little ways away from.
Yeah, this area seemed to be getting a lot of activity. We definitely don't want to be here when it gets dark.
Yeah.
Agreed. Let's definitely head west, away from the way that they were traveling.
Indeed. Did we ever find any clues about where the water we were looking for might be? Maybe further north?
Well, that's the exact direction that we saw the traveling.
You know,
Right.
lugging a tree, I think we should just get this back. And then we can come back and look for the water with a little more preparation and not a tree.
Sounds
Are
good.
we able to get the tree through customs without Ugla?
Probably. I mean, if I was the problem in the group, y'all should be able to take it in.
You're kind
Well,
of
maybe
one of our muscles. That's why I ask. I'm just
maybe
Oh, you
wondering.
might get
One or two.
tired, but if I can just take it like a mile away from town, you can take it a mile, right?
Mm-hmm.
with that. Plus, we could essentially send one person back to get a card or something.
That's true.
Very true.
Or what we could do is, while it's going to take a long time to actually get this there, maybe we send a party out sooner to go there faster, meet 3/4 of the way back with a cart.
You want to start running there all alone, get a cart, and bring it back alone?
We
It's the reason why it would be two of us that would go. That's why we're not splitting alone.
I'm a little hesitant to split up in these woods.
Yeah.
I
I feel
think
like
we
this
should get
area is
as
way too
close-
dangerous to break.
Yes,
Okay.
I agree. I
Fair
think
enough.
we should get as close as we can to the camp, or not the camp, the city, and part ways just as long as we need to.
Agreed.
Oh, by the way, I was able to decipher the tablet. Here's
Oh,
Here I lay my regrets with the last my sanity. I sacrificed what was not mine to gain what I wished. My rewards haunt my mind like a hound from the depths of hell. I fear that I will fail to resist the call of the hunt this night.
Call of the Hunt. Sounds like the
Poetic
language
and
of a predator.
indeed, which makes sense. But yes, quite dark.
I'm glad we split that up. Looks like it was sealed up by something gross.
Indeed, it is a little unsettling.
Yeah, so he killed 6 children and he buried some special clothes and a knife with. Wonder what he was after.
I mean, to gain what I wished, he got whatever he wanted.
Oh, or she. Could have been
Yes,
your aunt.
indeed, for sure. But whoever it was, yes, their rewards haunt their mind.
Like
So I'm
they never
assuming
sleep
there's-
again.
Yeah, their spirits.
You
were
said you thought you
haunted
heard
by
your
them.
aunt, right?
Yes.
And
My-
something
my aunt
haunted her
would-
so badly she never slept again.
No, I'm not quite sure that it was a haunting. I think she just made a deal, and I mean, why would she kill anyone? I mean, she of all people loved children.
I'm just saying, to get a gift
Get
like
what
never
she
needing to
wanted.
sleep again, probably had to
Or
sacrifice something pretty great.
We're trading it, and that's the cost of it.
think it's safe to assume that your Aunt Teen sacrificed 6 children and had some
You
magic
are
stuff buried
so
with them.
full of rubbish right now. I cannot even look at you. You are just a disgusting mess. I will not have you go around and say these horrific accusations about my own Aunt Margaret after she treated you with the most hospitality.
It's
What
okay.
would she have wanted in these woods anyway? She
It's
lived
com-
in
I mean,
Winnowing Reach.
It's completely normal to grieve and, to feel an intense emotion when you find out that someone you love has done something terrible.
I trust my Aunt Margaret, whom I knew all my life, more than I trust a strig that is just full of garbage right now. So,
I mean, you knew her your whole life, but then you found her secret ritual stuff. That's interesting,
yes,
right?
none of which maligned her. If anything, it just made me understand more that she was very dedicated to her religion.
Until
Which,
she wasn't, until she left it. What do you think drove her away? Maybe she took it too far.
Maybe they found out about it. And
Lycus
they
pulls off his
exiled
glove
her.
and reaches out to touch Ugly.
Rezik, really? Of all
You're the
people,
one that
like,
said that you didn't trust the string that he saved her life. How could you not trust somebody that's already saved you?
Roll Constitution save. Like what would the resulting affliction be of too much salt in the bloodstream?
Oh, jeez.
High blood pressure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't mean like an overdose of salt, like you're fucking dying.
Okay.
I just mean that, like what would a an increase in salt content do to a body in the blood?
it would dehydrate you, and
Dehydration.
then, yeah,
And fuck your brain up, right?
right.
Hey,
I
It
assume
could make you
blood
delirious.
flows.
Yeah,
All right, let's go with that. Lycus, you
Oh,
feel
no.
yourself like you reach out and you touch Ugla, and your brain, it does that thing again. You're like, water, salt, a lot of salt. Oh, he's been sweating all day, and then your everything just slows down. Your lips chap, your skin becomes very dry.
Like this, never touch anybody again. Never.
And
He is not full of shit. He is full of.
Yeah, but
He's a salty boy.
Wait a minute. Did you? Are you okay,
Oh.
Lycus? You don't look.
Lycus's
well.
eyes are that or he's got that like glassy, starry-eyed look on his face right now.
And his hand is just frozen on me.
No. He probably pulled it off after the the salty revelation hits him.
Ginner, I was just, investigating. I don't necessarily believe any of that.
Investigating, speculating, making accusations.
Just thinking. Also, I
You
think
have
I think
said what
Lycus
you
is
said.
dying or something.
Yes.
He
If
pulls
you
out
would
one
like,
water
I
skin,
will
a
pay
second
attention.
water skin.
Lycus finishes off his
I'm
first water
serious.
skin.
We need to help him.
Lycus finishes off his entire first water skin, and he starts to come back to normal and gets like a good mouthful out of the second, and he's okay.
All
Are
right.
you okay, Lycus? Please
Yes.
tell me you have a glove somewhere.
Oh, he stuffs his hand back into his glove.
Man, just talking about your Aunt Margaret is enough to kill a man.
She served you guys. Well, often
She was very
served
good
you.
to us, but we
She-
weren't young children ripe for the sacrifice.
All of my young family members spent their entire lives with her. I spent my youth with her. What would give you the perception that she is some malinformed, well, maligned being?
Because she
Her
may have
age.
traded something terrible to never sleep again, and then she had like ritual stuff.
Perhaps those undead could play
Oh, and you heard her
slight
voice.
tricks on us to draw us in and get us into a position in which we would find ourselves in much trouble. And that's all I think it was. I don't think it was anything to do with my Aunt Margaret murdering young children. For
And
any
gloating
reason.
about burying them every night in her undeath. And this time we just happened upon it.
Genra gets a fire in her eyes like never before and just feels her blood boiling to a point in which she feels an explosion is sure to come.
Seeing this happen, Ugla says, just kidding. Just
Her
kidding.
feathers
She
have
probably didn't
rustled
do it.
up.
Just a
She
prank,
probably didn't
bro.
do it.
She's starting to fluff and puff her wings out and get, like geese do. And she is actually livid.
I'm just
If
kidding.
I
I'm just
don't
kidding. She
leave
probably
this
didn't do
earth
it.
right now, I will take you out.
It could have
Ugla.
been. It could have been any other
Just huffs
ancient
off,
evil caster.
just totally tries to tune him out, and yeah, walks
Okay.
away.
I'm gonna start hauling the log back to the road.
Okay.
And
James,
then I'm gonna say, Genra, you can ride if you want.
Don't
I think you
talk to me.
I think you earned taking a load off.
She didn't do anything the entire time we were here. Load off of nothing.
No, a mental load, I guess.
James, I
It's
sent
a
you
lot.
DM as well.
I'm gonna lean into Rezik. It's a lot to learn that your aunt may have committed an atrocity.
Genra hears this and whips her neck around and looks at him with the most beady, angry eyes he's ever seen in his life.
Roll intimidate. Hell yeah.
Ooh.
Ugla, you are very
Gonna die.
certain that you're about to get the bonk. You have messed with the honk and it is upset with you.
You know, she probably didn't do it. She probably didn't do it. It could have been anyone, and she seemed very, very nice. She was very nice. I don't recall anyone ever treating me with such hospitality. I am a terrible person for speaking about her that way, especially so soon after she's passed. I won't say anything about that again. We don't know who did that, but it definitely wasn't your aunt.
Am I paying enough attention to see this? Like,
Oh, yeah.
it's,
Oh, yeah.
it's
Oh, yeah,
obvious.
you're-
You're-
Okay, all right.
You're
all
definitely
right.
right there.
Well-
You were like the intimidating honk at the bonk was not directed at you, but you got like the bye blow. It's like right over there, and you're like, shit.
Gamera looks back in front of her, doesn't say anything else, and keeps moving.
James, did you get my DM? Are you awake?
Yes.
Okay. Did you get my DM?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Alrighty. You guys begin the hauling. You're headed back towards Alderheart. Yes?
Yep.
Okay. Who's holding the items you picked up?
Bag.
Right in the bag?
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, I would have given Lycus to put in the bag.
Lycus, are they in the bag, just in case?
They're in the back.
Do we
Okay,
want to put
just
them in?
checking.
Okay.
Just check. Make sure you're not hiding them. Like, haha, these are mine now! Okay.
It was just three things. There was a dagger, a cloak, and a tablet, right?
What color was the cloak?
Actually, yeah, Genra has the tablet.
The cloak is a
Yeah.
a green or it's a green so dark it's basically black. You know, like they took green and then they took the hue slider and they pushed it almost all the way down.
That's what color I want my hair.
There you go.
It'll look really good at night if you're hiding in the tree.
Hmm.
He pulls it out of his bag and tosses it to Ressa.
It is a dark color.
It is.
I like that.
It feels especially lightweight. It's obviously very well crafted.
Without knowing anything about this, I'm gonna just put it on because I'm oblivious.
Okay.
To it being magic, because I guess
no.
I mean, nothing happens. It's
Oh, you like that one?
you
I
can
thought we were getting you a fancy fire one.
no, the other one was like it would flap
It was
whenever I
feathers.
twirled,
with
but
feeling
it
the
was black
material,
like this.
it feels like a cured hide of some sort of creature you've not encountered yourself. And has a very very short fur, so it was obviously some sort of like mammal or something, not a bird. But yeah, it's that super dark green. You so Kosher's never done this probably. This is a magic item and requires attunement to take effect. Otherwise, it's just a nice cloak. The attunement action is something that you do during a short rest, like sit and think about the magic and bind it to yourself.
You could do it
Could
tonight
he-
before we go to
I
bed.
was gonna say, could he naturally know, like, just do it because he's like, "Oh, this is awesome. I want to sit here and
Well, sure, yeah.
chill with
I mean,
it."
you're an adventurer.
Okay.
You know the rough idea about magic items and how they work. You know that some of them require focus and attunement. Okay. So dragging the log basically slows you to half speed, and you can arrive at the outskirts of the Alderheart Glade right after nightfall.
Cool.
Do you plan to? Would you like to try and drag it inside, or do you want to wait till morning?
Wait until the morning because the shopkeepers won't even be around until.
Good idea. Then we'll have to find a place to store it and all that.
You don't have to worry about it getting stolen and such.
Is it still cold out?
No. As you moved interior to the forest, it got back to that comfortable warmth.
Okay, good.
All right, you guys will set up camp for the night on the outskirts of the glade. No major risks here, so you'll have an easy night. And we will stop here today while I add an item as a sheet.
All right. As we figure out the best way to
Genra
go.
will get the dagger.
Genra can have the dagger, apparently.
Wow. We
She
might not even.
was thinking about it, but
We
with all
might be able to just cash this in then.
yeah, maybe.
I will add.
Do
both
you
of these
attune
items.
to the dagger?
Do you attune to the dagger, Genra?
All right.
Do you? That's a question.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I do.
All right.
Yeah.
I will add both of those items after we end the stream.
You are now both cursed.
Yep, probably.
That's what I always wanted.
Perfect.
Perfection.
Each night, in the twilight of your sleep, you will picture 6 children being sacrificed by Aunt Martha,
And one
dressed in her long green
large,
cloak with her evil
strange-looking
dagger.
too. One string that looks really familiar.
Pulling
Also,
puppet
Strange-looking
strings above her.
hand.
also sacrificed.
Also sacrificed, but this one by a unfamiliar goose. Huh.
Huh. All right. Those of you out there on the internet giving us here a watch, and those of you out there in the VOD, maybe. We appreciate your time. Appreciate your efforts. We'll see you here next Tuesday for Dungeons and or Dragons. Maybe neither. Maybe both.
You don't need a